Hey, good evening, everyone. I want to welcome everybody to another episode of Let's Talk Trucking. This is actually episode number 7. I know it's been a while. I don't think the last episode has been since the Super Bowl. A lot of things have happened since then. We've had the big freeze down here in Texas. It's a new year. I know everybody's going through different things with their business. We have taxes. It's tax season coming up, so that's a big thing that everyone's doing with their business right now. So, welcome back. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to see everybody, joining the conversation, trying to find out about trucking, trying to expand their business in trucking. And if they don't have a current trucking business, just, trying to get into the business. So today is actually going to be a really special episode. I have a very good family member, very good friend of mine, and my attorney, Jason of Yancey Legal. So he'll be joining us today. We're going to talk about the business of trucking, how to form your business. We'll talk about LLCs, and we'll talk about the necessity of having a attorney on your team, in not just in trucking but in any business. It's very important. There are a lot of legal things that can go into a business, especially in trucking. You have insurance, you have a lot of liability. And so, in forming your business, you want to make sure that you do it correctly. You want to make sure that you have all your T's crossed, all your I's dotted, and you want to make sure that everything is in compliance. And so, we'll bring Jason on. I'm really excited about having this conversation. He's going to talk to us about compliance, LLCs, contracts, and a few other things. Maybe we'll give another few moments for a few other people to show up if they want to. And let's see if I can get Jason on here. Okay. Before we go on, we post all of the podcast episodes on YouTube. So please go subscribe to the YouTube channel, comment, let us know what kind of content you want us to bring to you. Let us know how we're doing with the current content, and if it's helpful for you, or if you'd like to see us do something else. So we're really open to your suggestions, and we'd like to hear from you here at Pelican Logistics. All right. Let's see if we can get him on right quick. Hopefully we don't have any interruptions. Can everyone hear me? I'm not sure if my headphones are working or not. You guys let me know if you can hear me and if there's any issues with the sound. Appreciate that, Jason. I'm sending you a request right now so we can see if you could join.
How's it going?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
How's it going, brother Ellis?
Good, man. I can't complain. How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling well. Just got finished barbecuing for the fam, so about to wind down and get ready for the week.
Sunday's always a good family day.
Amen. Amen.
So, first of all, I really want to thank you. I know you're a busy man, so I want to thank you for coming on to the show and providing some good content, some solid gems. I know you're about to drop gems on us. Just kind of letting us know from your point of view.
Yeah, it's truly my pleasure. It's truly my pleasure to be on here. I know that trucking is such a dynamic and just progressive industry in a sense of that it's growing every year, and it's great to see a lot of Black people taking the initiative and just minorities, period, taking the initiative and not allowing big business to control the trucking industry. So again, man, I'm glad to be a part of it and just excited to be able to give any type of knowledge or gems that I'm able to today.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, man. So, I'd actually like to start with just an introduction of you and Yancey Legal. I know you have the law firm with your wife, Jasmine, and just kind of giving us some background of what you do, what you guys do over at the firm, what kind of law you guys practice, and some information so that we can get in contact if we need you.
Sure, sure. Well, Yancey Legal Group, PLLC, is on 59 in Westland. That's where we are officed at. You can also find us on yanceylegal.com.
And that's Houston, Texas for you guys.
Yes, sir. In Houston, Texas. I apologize. But yeah, we specialize in personal injury and criminal defense mostly. But I will always have a passion for business formation, helping people get LLCs and getting their business off the ground. So this is truly a passion of mine and always will be.
And man, a lot of people don't know what our relationship is, but we go back, of course, a long time with family, friends. We built a good relationship over the years. And for you guys that don't know, I knew Jason and Jasmine when they were in law school back in Baton Rouge, in my hometown, and to see them, matriculate in the way that they have, and they started the business, they're doing well here in Houston. I just want to say that I'm really proud of you guys. And just keep fighting the good fight and keep up the good work.
I appreciate it. As you know, the feeling is mutual. So
absolutely, and
to build.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. So a lot, and actually for Pelican Logistics, you did the LLC paperwork for us.
Yes, sir. And that's a great transition into even how to get started with an LLC. But before we do that, I want to just explain why an LLC is so important, because I get a lot of potential clients who come in and, they just want to hurry up and get a trademark or hurry up and get a copyright. Mm-hmm. And the benefit of an LLC is mainly protection of your personal assets. As we're creating businesses and making money, we get excited and we just want to grow. But the LLC is very vital to any business making a profit, because if you do get sued, only the LLC itself will have to pay that lawsuit. They can't come after any personal assets or anything of that nature. If you do not have an LLC, if you just have a partnership, or if you just start a business, and you get sued, they can come after your personal assets. They can come after your house, your checking account. They can come after everything. Your children's items. So it's very important that as small business owners and new business owners, that we protect ourselves. And an LLC is one of the major ways that we can protect our personal assets.
Now, for those people that don't know, what does LLC stand for?
Limited Liability Company.
Okay.
And it's just a fancy word to state that it is an entity itself, just like a human being is, just like we have social security numbers, an LLC has an EIN. So again, it's just an entity and serves that purpose. Now, to form an LLC, it's a lot simpler than a lot of people may think. They have LegalZoom. They have a lot of companies and websites out here that are charging people, $900, $1,000 to file an LLC. And I tell people all the time that it's pretty much a ripoff, because the filing fee for an LLC in Texas is under $400. And after that, yes. It's just under $400, and with that, you get all of the documents that you'll need to go and open up a checking account and run your business as an LLC. In addition to that, an EIN, which is kind of like that social security number that I was explaining a bit earlier, an EIN is free. And there are even websites that charge people $100, $150 just to pick up the phone, call a number, and get a free federal EIN number for their business. So
it's that easy.
It's that easy. It truly is. And like you guys did, you hired an attorney and just trusted in me to file that paperwork for you. But I recommend any of the listeners or anyone out there who's interested in starting a trucking company to just build a relationship with an attorney who is just going to keep it real with you and, you know, not try to raise up the bill like a lot of these websites and these business formation companies have been doing.
Yep. And you know, yeah, I don't know if you heard, but in the intro, I was kind of saying that, you know, it's important to have a relationship with attorney. One, just for formation of your business and, you know, for LLC type paperwork, if you don't want to have to do that footwork yourself. And if you want somebody who's going to do it right the first time.
Absolutely.
But also, you know, there's a whole, you know, there's another aspect of liability in trucking and any other business. You know, you have liability where you can get sued. You know, in trucking, you can have an accident. You can get into a bad accident. You can cause personal injury. But like in any other business, you know, you can, I don't know, sell somebody a faulty product that they may hurt themselves with. So, you know, in any business that has a certain amount of liability, it's very, very important to have that relationship with an attorney.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And it's funny you say that because the trucking industry is a very dynamic industry because, you know, there are so many ways to hold the company liable. You know, just from the agreement of picking up the load from the initial business, you know, you have that liability there. You have the liability on the road, just to make sure that the product is still intact as if it came from the initial company.
Absolutely.
And then, you know, you have so many, you know, it's such a regulated industry that you have so many standards and requirements that you have to maintain, man. It's vital. It's vital to be up to speed on.
Absolutely. So, you know, you have your LLC, which is your limited liability company. It's your entity that, you know, protects your personal assets. But there's, as you are very aware and you're the expert on, there's a few other aspects as far as forming your business. So there's a few other documents that you need, right?
Well, you have your certificate of formation that you pretty much fill out and you give to the Secretary of State. You give them that with the filing fee, and when you receive, when it gets approved, you get the articles of incorporation, your certificate of formation, and pretty much a receipt. And that's basically the 3 documents that you receive and that you need, like I said, to open up a checking account or to conduct business.
So you guys do all of that over at Yancey Legal?
Absolutely. And to be honest, that is just the basic formation of an LLC. The state of Texas pretty much creates all those documents after we fill out the application. Now, you also have, after the business is on the ground, and especially if there's more than one owner to the business, I recommend people creating an operating agreement. And what an operating agreement does is it pretty much entails the infrastructure of the business, whether it's operating hours, how to hire employees, how to fire employees, how to get new members of the LLC or new owners of the LLC, how to get rid of them. What are the requirements to maintain membership? Is there going to be a non-disclosure agreement? Will there be non-compete clauses, etc.? So the operating agreement is a little bit more detailed. So I don't always recommend it to people who, you know, are just now getting off the ground, but it's very important if you're an established business or if you have more than one owner. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like the way that you, you know, you brought that up. You know, it especially applies with Pelican Logistics. You know, we have 4 owners. And, you know, for anyone, it's important if you're a sole owner, but, you know, especially if you have more than one person, you're always going to have differences of opinion, differences of, you know, ways that you think the business should be run. And so having that operating agreement, you know, you may think that you're going into business with your friends or you have these business partners and you guys are never going to butt heads, but it happens. And so in order to have, you know, something written that says, okay, if this comes up, you know, this is how we're going to handle it. If this comes up, you know, these are the steps that we're going to take. When it comes to hiring somebody, you know, these are the steps that we want to go through. And, you know, once you get into the, I guess, like the meat and gravy of a business, you know, that kind of stuff becomes very important.
Absolutely.
Those kind of decisions.
Absolutely. And, you know, a lot of times people think, you know, just button heads or people disagreeing. But an operating agreement also gives people a meeting of the minds, if you will, because there are a lot of things in the business that you don't think of initially. And you just assume that, yeah, of course, I'm in business with my partner, with my friend, with my family member, that of course want to have the same outlook on it as me. But again, there's so much involved in the business that it's impossible to agree on everything. You know, something so simple as you may have an owner who prefers quality over price. Yep. And you may have another owner who prefers price over quality. He wants the cheapest product or the cheapest, you know, it could be something so small as cleaning products for, you know, for the cabin in your truck. You know, one owner may want to just go and find the cheapest ones, Dollar General. Another one may want quality, something that is guaranteed to kill 99.9% of bacteria. So I agree. Have things like that in the operating agreement. It just saves so much headache and just allows the business to run far more effectively.
You know, I would say I totally agree with you, and I would say especially in you know, in a field like trucking, in an industry like trucking's always changing.
Absolutely.
I mean, you have new regulations being brought forth every so often. You have DOT regulations that may change. You have a lot of different changing parts. And also, if you have multiple people in a business, people change over time. No doubt. Different things come up in people's lives.
Yeah.
You know, their outlook at where they want the business to go or how they want the business to operate may change over time. And so in order to keep people on the same page, you know, I definitely agree with the formation paperwork.
Yes, sir. That operating agreement is vital in trucking, in whatever industry that you may be in. It is certainly vital to make sure the business runs efficiently.
Absolutely. So, you know, I know in the very beginning of us starting the business over here at Pelican Logistics, we were getting our feet wet. We were dealing with different companies who were offering us contracts, right? We were leasing on to companies. And so, you know, like I've kind of said in podcasts before, you know, you have the option to work under your own authority. You know, there's several options. You can run a trucking company so many different ways. But, you know, two main ways that people do it is either they operate under their own authority or they lease on to a carrier who already has their own authority. And so whenever you're leasing onto these carriers, you get these contracts, right? So the contracts may spell out what you're responsible for, you know, as a owner operator.
Sure.
It talks about what kind of liability you have, you know, what type of insurance they require you to have, what percentage that they'll get, you know, out of your gross profit. And so, you know, when it comes to, you know, I can speak for myself. I'm not super contract savvy. And a lot of people aren't. You know, a lot of people see these contracts. It's a whole bunch of little bitty words. Boom, you know what I'm saying? Sign here, and it's over.
Absolutely.
So, you know, when you're getting into the business and you have all these contracts coming at you, can you talk about the importance of having someone who can, you know, kind of guide you in reading over these documents and deciding whether or not it's good for your business?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I tell people all the time that an attorney's job is not to know everything about the law, but we know how to go and find the answer to everything about the law. So, you know, even from a trucking agreement, you know, I'm a criminal defense attorney, a personal injury attorney. I don't own and operate a trucking company, so I don't know all of the detailed words, but I'm able to read it and understand the legal nature and the legal jargon from it, and piggyback off of my trucking clients to help make sense of it all. So it's very important to put your head together with an attorney, preferably one who is super experienced in the trucking industry. But if you don't have the funds to hire a high dollar attorney who's also working with Exxon and you know all these other you know huge oil companies, then you know put your head together with an attorney who will take the time and break down these contracts for you. You know, it could be the difference between you know tens and thousands of dollars for your business.
So in your experience, you know, I'm sure you've seen people who've signed these bad contracts.
Absolutely.
So, you know, worst case scenario, you get a contract, you sign it, and it ends up being a very bad contract. Worst case scenario, you know, what can happen to your business?
to be honest, the possibilities are endless. But most importantly, you can lose your business for failure to finish out the contract. You know, as long as the contract is not unconscionable, and what they mean by that is just so outrageous that nobody would enter into an agreement like that, you're required to fulfill your end of the bargain. And the results could be you getting sued. And if the amount is more than you can pay, these carriers can take your business from you. They truly can, and they have, and they will continue to do it as long as this is the United States of America.
Absolutely. Okay, so you know you can get sued, you can lose your business if you sign a bad contract. But you know, you guys you do a lot of personal injury, right?
Yes, sir.
So I know that you see these commercials and you hear the commercials on the radio. You have these attorneys and trucking companies. You have people getting injured by these huge trucks all the time. You know, they say a truck is like a moving bomb. You know, you can't stop it. You have so much weight that a lot of times when you may need to stop on a dime, you just can't do it.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of accidents that happen on the daily that, you know, unfortunately are with, you know, semi trucks, box trucks, you know, just commercial trucks in general.
Yeah, the liability is so outrageous in the trucking industry that I believe you all are required to have. Is it $1 million policy?
$1 million policy.
Policy. And to continue being honest, as an attorney, all they see is dollar signs. So there are attorney law firms who only advertise to people who are hit by 18-wheelers or hit by commercial vehicles just because of the liability and how great the liability is. So with that being said, it's very important to protect yourself.
So when it comes down to these kind of accidents that happen with the 18-wheelers, you know, driver responsibilities, you know, versus owner responsibility. You know, so a lot of times the driver of the truck isn't necessarily the owner of the business. It's not necessarily an owner operator. So he's in the industry, he would be what we consider a company driver. So when you do have, you know, a bad accident on the interstate, you have your driver, he hits someone. What's the responsibility of the driver versus the responsibility of the owner of the company? Are they equally liable, or?
Well, to be honest, it depends on the type of agreement that is created. Because, you know, you have independent contractors and you have people who are employees of large companies. Typically, if they are under the employee, or if they're working as an employee, then the company is going to be liable for that. If they're working as an independent contractor, oftentimes the driver would be responsible because they are an independent contractor and in essence would be the business, if you would.
Okay. I think it's important for a lot of owner operators to know.
Oh, absolutely.
That, you know, when you have your own authority and you're employing a driver under your DOT number, whatever happens in that truck, you know, whoever gets hurt is your responsibility as an owner. And
Absolutely.
so you need to recognize that responsibility.
No doubt about it.
And there's ways to mitigate, you know, your risk. You have insurance. That's what insurance is for.
And a lot of carriers require drivers to have their own insurance. You know, just so that they don't have to accept that liability while the driver's on the road.
Absolutely. So, you know, overall, with the liability that comes with trucking, can we, you know, agree that you need some type of legal representation?
No doubt about it.
No
doubt about it. And legal representation comes in many forms. You can pay an attorney a la carte, if you will. So every time you need a service, you can go to an attorney. You can also get them on retainer, where you give them a monthly fee each time, and they're not paid until the work is done. But the benefit of a retainer is that the attorney is your attorney at all times, and you can utilize them 24/7.
Okay. So, you know, out of the personal injury that you see, what percentage would you say is trucking related?
Oh man. Out of all cases, it would at least be about 20 to 25%. But out of the high dollar accidents and the largest auto accident claims that I see, they're all trucking accidents. So it's
So
less
they,
about the quantity of the trucking accidents and more about the quality of them because, a regular motor vehicle accident, the policy limit, the minimum policy limit is 30,000. So once you reach
okay.
that 30,000 threshold, it's done. But with these,
30,000, that's not very much.
30,000 is nothing.
That's nothing.
And this is for another conversation, but that's why I always tell people to get full coverage insurance. Because you can't rely on someone else's insurance because oftentimes, like you said, 30,000 is not going to be enough. But yeah, with these 18 wheelers, with this $1 million minimum policy, man, these cases are just astronomical. They're ridiculous. They really are.
Okay. Yeah. So I just want to make sure I stress to you guys the importance of when you're going into your business, when you're talking about trucking, when you're doing your research, make sure that you take legal representation. You look at your insurance. You look at your business formation. You decide whether LLC is not the only way to form a business. I know we touched on that today, but what are some other ways that you may form a company?
So if you don't file anything, you have something called a partnership. You can file and create a partnership, but if you don't file anything, you have a partnership. And I'll be honest, there's no benefit of a partnership. If you get sued, they come after all of your assets. They can take your dog from you, your fish tank, everything.
Okay.
And then they have your LLC, which we talked about. They also have a limited company, which is like a good example of that is the limited company, the clothing store.
LTD, right?
Yep.
Yes.
The limited company and the limited two. There are very few limited companies, but what they do is they're very similar to an LLC, but they have limited partners. And those limited partners are simply investors. They don't have much to do with the decision making of the business. But with an LLC, you can also have that as well. You can have something called a managed LLC company, where the members don't manage the LLC, only the managers manage the LLC.
So is it almost like a board of directors and a corporation?
Very similar. But you also have a corporation. That would be the next entity, and corporations have the board of directors. They have the president, the vice president, etc. And the owners are stockholders.
So if you're a single person that wants to, and I don't mean single as in marital status,
I understand as an individual.
A single individual that wants to open up a company. Is there any benefit of opening as a sole proprietorship as opposed to a limited liability company?
Well, again, there's no advantage to just having a partnership. I only recommend a partnership to someone who, maybe it's a lemonade stand for your children, or something small. But if you plan on making more than $400 a month, $500 a month, you definitely want to get an LLC.
So the sole proprietorship kind of fall into the same category?
Well, a sole proprietorship is typically just a partnership.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But it's so funny, and this is the lawyer in me thinking that I know I said that even if you have a lemonade stand, you'll be fine with the partnership. But let's say you accidentally poison the whole neighborhood with the lemonade, and they want to sue your beautiful daughter or your beautiful son for poisoning the entire neighborhood. They're coming after your home now, all because you wanted to make.
That's scary, bro.
So, yeah, man, that LLC is vital.
Okay, so protect yourselves, protect your families.
Amen. And that's with any business, trucking companies especially, but any business. I don't care if you're selling, hair products or if you're a hairdresser, get an LLC. I'm currently suing a hairdresser. I'm currently suing 2 hairdressers right now. for work that they have done on their heads. So, there's no industry that is above being sued or above liability. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I like what Jasmine just posted here. She says, hire an attorney who's knowledgeable and willing to treat your business like it's their own.
Yes,
That's important, because if they don't look at your business like it's their own. And Jasmine, this is actually Jason's wife. She's chiming in with us, so I appreciate your input, Jazz. It's important for them to be almost as invested in your company as you. Because at the end of the day, in which I appreciate you so much, man. Ever since the beginning of us opening up the company, you've been there for us with whatever we need. And I honestly feel like you do value Pelican Logistics as much as it was your own company. So we appreciate that.
I appreciate you just acknowledging that. And there have even been some times where you've come to want a service, but it just wasn't the right time for that service, or it wasn't the right service. So it's very important to have that relationship with your attorney, because there are a lot of attorneys out here who will charge and just charge just to make a quick buck, and you're not really learning anything from them about the business.
Absolutely. I feel like we've covered at least for the people who are interested in getting into the industry.
Sure.
I feel like this can almost be like drinking from a fire hydrant.
Yeah.
It's a good bit of information.
No doubt.
But it's important information. It's crucial information, actually. Informing, structuring your business the way you want it to run, and staying out of legal trouble.
Yes,
so,
sir.
All very, very important points. I know you're busy. I don't want to hold you too long, man. I know you got the baby over there, and how's she doing, man?
She's great. She's great. I was hoping to maybe have her on here, but I think she's wrapping up, getting ready for bed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blessings to your family, man. You got a beautiful family.
Same to you. Same to you.
Appreciate it, bro.
Continue pushing, man, and motivating me to get better, and I will do my best to do the same.
Hey, you definitely doing the same, bro. I want to thank you again for coming on. I don't have we don't have all the cameras that we actually need. We want to improve the podcast. We want to definitely grow this, and so it wasn't necessarily ideal the way the cameras work to have Jasmine on. The two people, it just kind of shows up weird.
Sure.
But in the future, I definitely like to have both of you on, and we can chop it up about anything. It kind of gives the people some more gems and some knowledge.
No doubt, man. We would love to do it.
So again, let's talk about Yancey Legal. Let's what you guys' info. How can we reach you? We want to make sure that we patronize.
You can reach us at yanceylegal.com. We also have an Instagram page, Yancey Legal. Our office address is 4615 Southwest Freeway, Suite 820. That's in Houston, Texas, and the zip code is 77027. And our phone number is 832-931-6033. Again, 832-931-6033. So we're very approachable. We're very open to anyone.
You have an Instagram?
Yes, Yancey Legal.
Okay,
yes.
So Yancey Legal's Instagram. Okay.
Yes, sir. So hit us up.
So, man, I just want to thank you again for coming on and giving us this information. Gems, free smoke, whatever you want to call it. Very greatly appreciated, bro.
Yes, sir. Likewise. Have a good one.
You do the same, man.
All right.